this is Jane. Hope you're all well and happy today. It's another snow day here in Southampton, and my hair is a mess. I need a haircut. But yeah, it's snowing again, and it's really messy out there. But I think it's turned to rain. We've got about 4 inches, and sort of housebound today. I had a rough night last night. I went to the gym yesterday afternoon, and I did a very intense run on the treadmill. I did intervals of 10 by 1 minute fast, 1 minute easy, and it was a challenge, and I enjoyed doing it, and I felt great afterwards. Sometimes it's just so discouraging because last night, had a great dinner. I made fish, asparagus, and sweet potatoes, and I went to bed. I hydrated quite a bit yesterday. I thought I was hydrated, but I do have a problem. I went to bed and I had leg cramps all night long. It was just awful. And I don't know if any of you know about what it could be, but comment below if you have any advice. I happen to think it was the asparagus. I do oftentimes have leg cramps, and I don't know why. I've been tested, and I've been to doctors and neurologists, and nothing seems to be the problem. I personally believe that it's probably dehydration. I don't retain water very well, and it goes right through me, and it's possible that it's that. I do take magnesium and calcium supplements and potassium as well, which has been helpful. But last night it was awful. So I happen to think it was the asparagus because asparagus is a diuretic. So that's my theory, but if you have any comments or advice, comment below. I also wanted to share with you my recipe for almond milk. I soaked some almonds last night, and I have them ready. I soaked the raw organic almonds overnight. That's what they look like. Almond milk is a great substitute for cow milk. This is a great recipe, and it's so delicious. I happen to think that it's a lot tastier than regular milk. It's rich in protein and minerals. I have almonds, which I've soaked overnight. I'm going to use a few dates, and you'll also need water, and I use my Vitamix, but you can use a regular blender as well, and a little bit of sea salt. I take my Vitamix, and it's about a cup of almonds, 6 cups of water, and 1 cup of almonds, soaked almonds. And then I will just pit these dates. Make sure the stem is off because that's hard. And I'll put about 3 dates in the recipe. This is really good because it helps to sweeten it and make it more tasty. You don't have to do that, but I think it's much more enjoyable. So I put in about 3. Make sure that stem is off of there. And then I'll add some sea salt as well. I'll add a couple of turns of sea salt just to balance out the sweetness. And now I'll put it in my Vitamix blender, and I'll blend it up. So I blended up my almonds, and you don't have to do this step, but I like it. It just makes it nice and smooth and creamy. And I use the pulp for other recipes I made a recipe with the almond meal that I get from this making almond milk, and I made my mock truffle chocolate balls coated with coconut, and they're delicious dessert. So at this point, what I do is I have this bag here, and it's made of nylon. I ordered it online, and it's called a nut bag, which is a funny name, but you can also make sprouts in it as well. But it's like a nylon, and it's washable and reusable. I've had it for a long time, and it works great. So what I do is I pour the blended almonds and water into this, and as you can see, it filters the pulp from the liquid, and you just squeeze out the almond milk, and you get a very rich, creamy milk from it. It's very good to use like it is, or for any kind of drink. I use it in my smoothies. It adds to the protein value of my smoothies, which I make. I can either make a fruit smoothie or a kale smoothie, and then I just pour it into a container as I go along, and I store the pulp in a container. So each time I have a batch that I sift through the bag, I'll empty out the pulp into a container, and then I can either make those chocolate almond balls that I was talking about before, or if you have a dehydrator, you can use it to make almond flour. So at this point, I'm just going to keep repeating my steps of pouring the liquid in the bag and just squeezing it out. Whoops! Sort of like milking the cow. But this is great stuff instead of using, cow milk or any kind of dairy. If you're, allergic to dairy or intolerant to dairy, I just love this. And I think it has a lot more minerals and calcium and protein, just as much protein as milk would. There you go. And then I have, it's really a great treat. And it tastes great. Perfect. It's very creamy and very digestible. So here's to you. Hope you enjoy my recipe. Subscribe to my channel